There is a photograph, taken in the final year of her life. An elderly woman alone by a fireplace, waiting. She had waited her whole life to be seen. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly who she became, what it cost her, and why the promise she made at 21 years old held for the next 7 decades. She was born Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor on April 21, 1926 in Mayfair, London. She was not born to be queen. She was born third in line. A princess, yes, but one who might have lived a quieter life if history had not intervened. Then came 1936. Her uncle, King Edward VIII, walked away from the crown for the woman he loved. In doing so, he handed the weight of an empire to his younger brother, Elizabeth's father, who became King George VI. Elizabeth was 10 years old. Almost overnight, the little girl who had been playing in palace gardens became the heir to the British throne. Nobody asked her. History simply decided. Her father was not a man who wanted to be king either. He had a stutter. He was shy, but he served anyway. And watching him, Elizabeth learned something that would define everything that followed. That duty is not the same as desire. You can serve without wanting the role. You serve because
upon the high altar have been placed the Coronation regalia,
it is yours to carry. When the Second World War came, Elizabeth did not stay behind palace walls. In 1945, she joined the Auxiliary Territorial Service, becoming the first female member of the royal family to serve in the armed forces. She trained as a driver and mechanic. She wore a uniform. She got her hands dirty. It was a small act in the scale of the war, but it mattered. It told a watching nation that the young princess was not above the struggle. Then, on November 20th, 1947, she married Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. But before the wedding, on her 21st birthday, she made a vow that almost no public figure would dare to make today. Speaking on radio, she said, "I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service." She was 21. She meant every word. Fate moved faster than anyone expected. On February 6, 1952, her father died. Elizabeth was in Kenya at the
Celebrations are underway across the United Kingdom, honoring Queen Elizabeth II and her 70 years on the throne.
Today kicks off 4 days of festivities marking the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Her Majesty watched the festivities begin from the Buckingham Palace balcony.
Time. A 25-year-old woman on a royal tour. She left as a princess. She came home as queen. On June 2nd, 1953, her coronation was held at Westminster Abbey. The BBC broadcast it live. 20 million people in the United Kingdom watched. An extraordinary number for the time. Many families bought their first television set specifically to witness it. This was not just a ceremony. It was a country pressing its face to the glass, trying to see who she was. What they saw was composure. Stillness. A young woman who did not flinch under the weight of the crown. She would need that stillness. 1992 became what she herself called her annus horribilis, her horrible year. Her son, Prince Andrew, and his wife separated. Windsor Castle caught fire. The private lives of her children were crumbling in public, splashed across newspapers every morning. The royal family, for much of the 20th century, had stood above scrutiny. Now it could not. And then came Diana. When Diana, Princess of Wales, died in 1997, the public grief was raw and enormous. The Queen stayed in Scotland. She did not appear. She did not speak. The silence was read by many as coldness, and the criticism that followed was some of the harshest she had ever faced. Flowers piled up outside Buckingham Palace, and the Queen was not there to see them. She eventually returned to London. She addressed the nation. She bowed her head as Diana's coffin passed. It was a moment of adaptation. Painful and public. A queen learning, at 71 years old, that the country she served had changed around her. The institution she represented had to change too. By 2002, she had been on the throne for 50 years. Her golden jubilee. By 2012, 60 years. Her diamond jubilee. Each milestone was not just a celebration. It was a quiet answer to everyone who had doubted the monarchy's place in modern life. Then came 2022, her Platinum Jubilee. 70 years on the throne, 70 years, 214 days, making her the longest reigning monarch in British history. She stood on the balcony at Buckingham Palace, small and still, and the crowds below stretched as far as the eye could see. She had made over 21,000 official engagements across her reign. She had served as Queen of 15 Commonwealth realms, including Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. She had seen 14 British Prime Ministers. She had outlasted empires, recessions, and revolutions of every kind. She was 96 years old. On September 8, 2022, Queen Elizabeth II died at Balmoral Castle in Scotland. The announcement came at 6:30 in the evening. Within minutes, the world stopped. That photograph, the elderly woman alone by the fireplace, was taken just days before she died. She was waiting. But she had always been waiting in one way or another. Waiting to serve. Waiting to be needed. Waiting for the next crisis to steady herself again. Since she had said at 21 that her life would be devoted to service, whether it be long or short. It was long, longer than anyone imagined, and she never stopped.